Root Workers Round the Table with your favorite host, Sister Sonya and Papa O. Join us round the table.
Hello, and welcome to another Root Workers Round the Table. I'm your host, Papa O.
I'm your other host, Sister Sonya.
Well, Sister Sonya, how do you do?
What is going on?
I heard that you have a problem up a tree. Is that true?
I do have a problem with the tree. The problem is the cat. There's a neighborhood cat. It's been in the tree. We think it's Trunk's daddy. So it's daddy because he looks just like Trunk, only a lot bigger. His face is rounder. So when I saw him up the tree yesterday, I was like, Reuben, why is our cat so far up the tree? It is not our cat. It is the cat's daddy. It's the baby daddy. And he's up the tree.
Well,
He got kittens all over the place.
You could always let nature take its course. We heard an owl out tonight.
No.
It was like, ooh. I told everybody that he was doing a dance outside. Because have you ever seen how long the legs of an owl are?
In the talons? Ugh.
The talons are one thing, but those legs were built for dancing, not eating kitties.
I put food. I eliminated all the causes that could prevent it from coming down, such as the dogs are in the dog kennel tonight. No worries, people. It's like 50 degrees. They have straw and they have carpet to lay down on, and they're very
Those dogs are fine. When I go to your house, though, I'm gonna tell you, sometimes it feels like a Christmas story. The Christmas story when all those dogs eat his turkey dinner.
Oh, the Bumpus dogs. Yes.
And I was like, that there's only one reason. And you know what that reason is? You have one that pees on me every time.
Yes, he does. He for some reason he just pees on you. But anyways, they're in the kennel tonight. My cats are indoors. No visiting your daddy tonight, Trunk. You're stuck inside. And I have put food under the tree. So hopefully that will entice the cat to come down.
God willing.
Something's the tree. It's been 2 days.
And it's starting to
Yeah.
That's
It's this morning. We noticed him yesterday, 8 a.m. And as of 10 minutes ago, he still isn't down.
he can come down though. I'm convinced that he is not stuck in the tree. You know, like
Come down.
because I'm gonna tell you, even if they fall, they have the ability to fall in like where they can direct themselves how to fall in the less hurt way that they possibly can.
I don't know. We had a cat, Jinx. He fell out of the tree and it jacked him all up. I mean, it like displaced his hip and fractured his leg and all kinds of crap.
And what was his name? Jinx.
Yep, I think it was Jinx. Jinx is no so.
Especially now.
Hey, the menagerie. Speaking of things that go up, you were talking about people trying to make it to the top.
Okay. This is my thing. Is I don't think people realize the different hierarchies. And I think that's why a lot of people don't take new agey pagans and stuff serious. Like the job that a high priest or a high priestess, they should be helping with your religious goals. And they should also be focused on doing stuff to help them in the community, I think in churches, when somebody gets sick, they bring food, you know? When somebody is in consequence, they bring ministers in to talk, People who've had people who've had a personal relationship with you, and people who dedicate their life to religion and to the gods. That's where I think that belongs. Now there's educators. Educators don't look to them the same way that you look to your high priest and high priestess. Yes, they've written a book. Yes, they're intelligent. But I've even heard a pretty well-known writer who said, I'm not pagan. I just take advantage of the pagan stuff, And I was like, that's not somebody. That's somebody who you can go to for intelligent knowledge, but it's not somebody who you go to for personal things, Do you understand what I'm saying?
Be honest with yourself. How many people in this community that are pagan are actually going to come out that they're pagan so that they can interact and help people? They're not. It's the Bible Belt. And also, people are busy. And another thing, we don't have a unified church. We, as pagans, need a place to go to worship. Well, you're right. Ruben says I'm not pagan. I'm somewhere between pagan and Pentecostal. We both know that. I don't identify as anything other than spiritual. But even people that are spiritual who practice natural type religions that don't claim to be pagan or have not came out to be pagan, there's nowhere here for them to go, Eddie. Papa O. I mean, we don't.
True. Trust me. I've dealt with this for quite a while. There is room. It's just first of all, you're going to have your Beltane and Samhain pagan, ones that just come out for the big holidays. Then you're going to have. When I was in Western Kentucky, if I cross a street, I crossed it into Tennessee. That's how far Western Kentucky I was. In fact, the front of my house was in Kentucky, the back of my house was in Tennessee. But they had Glenda and I, and, we did all the Sabbaths. The smallest ones were like the summer ones because it was only us down here, and the college went away. But, then there were, during the Samhain, we would have over 50 people there, Don't wash everybody's feet when you think, you think that's a good idea, but in hindsight, it really sort of botches up circle. But I'm saying, some of the educators tried to, and not just the educators, but the business people, the people who own the stores, though that goes more for I don't think that there is as much altruism with store owners than there is with community activists.
I just don't think people get together. And I think they would come together more often if there was a place for them to congregate. People that are Christians go to church. Why? because there are people there that they have commonalities with. And that's why they go to that church. There is a set of rules, a set of doctrines, and people that they have commonalities with, that they join together and they worship. We don't have that in this community. I mean, some people don't feel comfortable going to somebody else's house. You know, it's like, I know them, but I don't know those other people. So, you know what I mean? We need a place to go, and there's no place to go. Like a common place to go.
Well, I agree. Like some people say, well, you have the UU, and the UU is something totally different, you know?
It's completely different.
And I would almost recommend an inside out place, you know, a place that you still had the feeling of outside with the protection of inside, you know?
Well, I have a place. Honestly, it's if people came on a Saturday or a Sunday or a Sabbath, the woods. But again, it's that I know. But I wouldn't mind people coming to my woods with me in order to celebrate or honor or venerate or whatever it is that we would like to do. I wouldn't mind it at all. But it's too far for most people. We need a common place in town. We need to come together as a group if people would. That's the first thing. People must come together.
You know,
People,
the area here, the area here really got real quiet after COVID, you know?
yes.
And is trying to wake that spirit up again. Like, wake up! Wake up!
What about our neighbors to the west in Bowling Green?
do they
If we built
do they still do anything
all the time. All
with
the time.
with big turnout?
Yes. Oh yeah. They just had the Mystic Fair today in Glasgow. The Mystic Arts Fair.
In Glasgow?
Yes.
Why weren't we invited to it?
Well, it was all over Facebook, but I was busy today.
Damn it. I think that we should do something in Cave City.
Back. Huh?
I think we should do something in Cave City.
Cave City.
They have that big convention center.
You got to have a.
Sonya, I always tell him all he has to do is take a right out of his driveway, take a right at the hazard light, take straight to Cave City.
Yeah, a right
Left
and a right. We was telling you to take a right and a right, and you'd be in Cave City. But I mean, you got to think though. Cave City's close to you. Cave City's close to me. Is Cave City closest to the majority? We would actually have to almost put out a poll to see where the majority is and where the majority would choose to go to worship.
You know what that's not all I was thinking. I was like, do you know how many single pagans there are? You know?
That I'm aware of, honestly.
I am, and I think that a whole bunch of them should get together and like have a singles winter ball or something. You know how I love balls.
Telling you, we're more like the Catholics than you think. The Catholics are more like us.
Are we supposed to have a fish fry?
And a single get together and bingo.
I really think I would have no problem with bingo.
I wouldn't either, and I would chaperone a singles event, or I'd volunteer. I'd volunteer to help with the singles event. But then you would have people that would need to come out and actually say, when people show, they would have to admit to being pagan. And a lot of people are scared to be pagan.
If it could be done in Western Kentucky, it can be done in South Central Kentucky.
Yes. And that's where we get to what witches look like. because a lot of people are afraid to come out. A lot of people are afraid to announce that they are pagan for fear of what their neighbor's going to think. And trust me, there would be, in some cases, retribution. People are just downright mean. And if they don't understand something, then it's ignore the noise in the background.
I'm just thinking green, green, you know? I think that money, no matter whose hand is coming out of, it's green or digital.
We need to do a, you know how they used to do with, they would have the telethons. We need a local pagan telethon and say, please donate your dollars to Sonya, and not to Sonya and Papa O, but to the church,
It only takes a few people to make a church.
Oh yeah, that looks fine, Taylor.
Yeah.
Like,
Taylor,
it's like 5 people and a IRS code.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Because
let's just announce
you realize
we pagans locally, naturalists, spiritualists, all that want to participate to donate toward the church or the temple or whatever you want to call it.
also tax exempt, you know? Why aren't we benefiting from tax exemption?
Because we're not a church.
But you can be. That's the whole key. And I do believe that it is a place. It is a place that you need to be.
Yes, you have to have a place. People need a place to congregate that's public.
And have lunch.
But again, they don't need to feel targeted though. You put a group of people, like-minded people together in a place in the middle of the Bible Belt, some folks just might feel targeted. And indeed, they could be targeted.
True, there is the, what is it?
Yeah. I'll say his damn name out loud. He's a public figure. He's not going to sue me. He can't sue me. But Greg Locke has just basically started a witch hunt. That pastor down in Tennessee.
True. And I was known as one of the renowned witches from around the world by him. So thank you. I myself am a renowned witch from around the world. And do you remember that show in England? Angelica Houston was in it. They did a remake of it where the witches take off their shoes and they got all those crinkly toes.
Yep.
Now my toes look like that. But I won't.
He took members of his congregation. I swear to me, it felt just like Salem. Took members of his congregation and said he made them confess that they were full of demons and that they were witches.
One of the guys who I want to have on here is named Justin. And the thing about it, he ran a festival that was sort of invaded by him and his congregation.
Oh, they came out and protested Puff.
They literally got on the back trails and sort of tried to infiltrate Cauldron Fest, you know? And I never saw a bunch of Norse gentlemen more happy to protect an area than I did that day. They were having a ball, and you know how I love balls.
I'm telling you, it's something that we need to think about, and we need to know. You know, it's something that we need to be like, would we be discreet or do we need to be public? But It's just difficult to get people together. People are busy, regardless of the reason to get together. People are busy.
People can make time.
They
People,
can't. That's the thing.
I think that most people can. Most people in the world do make time for events like that.
When you contact your people and I'll contact mine and we'll see how many show up. You can talk about it at your dinner.
It's just, are we competing?
And how many would actually show up? People, you can talk the talk, but are you going to walk the walk? Let's talk about it at Friendsgiving. By the way, the Friendsgiving little music thing with like the little deer, like, whoa, this is what we're doing. I didn't get an actual invitation. I can't RSVP invitation.
That was the invitation.
How am I supposed to RSVP to that?
By saying, "Hi, I'm going to that."
Hi, I'm going to that, and I'll bring the tater salad.
That is totally fine. That is totally fine. You can bring broccoli, you can bring tater salad, you can bring beans, you can bring spare ribs, whatever your little heart desires. And honestly, this is my opportunity to start doing things again. You know, because
what? What are you gonna do for Samhain?
Nothing.
Nothing.
This honestly, this was the fastest I could get at having a small ritual. Fastest thing I could get done. You know, and you're right. Time is an issue. And honestly, I really got out of swing with the whole COVID thing. That and my toes. I'm still learning how to walk. So
podcasting again. So the dead are up and walking though. Like I was telling you the other day, I left the house and I smelled someone who reeked of alcohol in the car with me. And I was alone. And I felt my whole trip as if somebody was watching me. I actually, from the back seat, I actually stopped my car at the end of the road, turned on my dome lights, and looked in my back seat and my trunk because it literally I felt someone in the car. Yeah. And I have no idea.
None.
They were there. Maybe they just needed a ride. I don't know.
I was watching last night.
I just want to tell you the weird thing though is when I walked to the car, the dogs were growling at the car. God's honest truth. Odin growled toward the car when I walked to the car, and so did Rose. Creepy.
And that's why the cat won't come down now.
They're up and walking. They really are. The veil is very thin.
Do we need to go visit anybody in the? Do we need to go visit anybody in the cemetery?
Nobody's called out to me lately. And I usually think of them, and I think a lot of them, and then I'm like, oh crap, I better go to the cemetery because this person has not left my mind in like days. And then I go visit him, and I don't think about him anymore. But nobody.
I do need to go visit my family in New Jersey. I do feel.
Who you need to go visit?
Well, my grandmother, my grandfather, and I go to visit the whole family. I go to visit my grandmother's mother, and I go to visit Aunt Rose, and I go to visit Jason, everybody we're all sort of in there. Yaja, who was sort of like my Polish mom sometimes.
Hmm?
I'm just curious, do you ever have multiple maternal figures in your life?
Multiple maternal figures.
Yeah.
Children do.
See, I still have like multiple people who've acted like a mom to me. You
Well, yeah, I'm known as Mama Sonya,
know?
and a lot of kids in the neighborhood and a lot of kids from the past with my kids growing up still call me Mama Sonya. And it's like the minute they walk through these doors, it's Reuben and Mama Sonya. It's not Papa Reuben or Daddy Reuben or Uncle Reuben. It's Reuben and Mama Sonya. So I am the matriarch. But Taylor and Allie have Mama Johnny, and they have, that's their second mama. They'll tell you that. But we were also in the military to where when I was deployed, they depended on the ladies of the neighborhood to be the second mama. And they were. So they have second mamas. They have matriarchs that they would call Miss Johnny, Miss Janelle, Miss Jennifer. They always called them Miss. But
Maybe that's my big thing.
hmm,
Maybe that's my big thing is that there's somebody to run to.
yes, yes.
And I believe that you need people like that. You
Oh
need
yeah.
you
Uh
no matter how old you are.
it was nothing for us to hear a knock on the door, like at God knows what time of the night, and it be one of the kids of the neighborhood who had fought with their mom and their dad or their aunt and their uncle or whoever. And they're like, "Can I come in?" And I'm like, "Of course you can." And we're making a phone call, secretively in the background, letting somebody know that that child is okay.
Yeah.
House. And sometimes that would happen and sometimes it wouldn't, because they'd be running away from danger. And we'd be like, "You can stay the night, but tomorrow you need to let somebody know where you are. But tonight it's okay." Like one time we got a call. I mean, I got a knock on the door at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was Allie's friend Stephanie, and she'd been kicked out of the house by her aunt, who no longer wanted her to live there, and she had nowhere to go. So she said, "Can I come in, Mama Sonia?" Of course you can come in. And then one time, Taylor, it was not long ago, Taylor had a friend who turned 18, and this friend was at my house for like 4 or 5 days, and I was like, "Taylor, come here." I was like, "Does she live with us now?" She said yes, because her grandmother at 18 was like, "I no longer have to clothe you. I no longer have to provide you a home. I don't have to feed you. See you later." And I was like,
What kind of relationship creates that? I don't understand that.
"So I guess she lives with us now." Because the child had nowhere to go. So she lived with us. It kind of happens like that. It happened like that more than once, actually.
Oh, I've I've met many a mother who have more children than they created.
I'm the old mother hen of the neighborhood. Everybody's my child. Every, I mean, Taylor will be like, "Mama, this person ain't got nowhere to go." I'll be like, "Oh my God, come in my house. Let me feed you."
Tell
I
me my
show my food. I show love through food. I'm like, "Come in, child. Let me feed you."
I do too. That is
Yep.
that is one of my love languages. But I am going to tell you, it does not have to be that way reversed. Let me just tell you this. I used to think whenever I would go to somebody's house, out of like hospitality, I would eat their food. Well, one time it was gray and it was in a bowl, and I was just vomiting before I got home. I was just vomiting.
They feed you oatmeal, grain in a
No,
bowl.
it was uh veggie, the like the string bean, pea, carrot,
Oh, veg all?
Yeah, malto
with
meal.
I'm not done with like rabbit in it.
Rabbit?
but I don't know how it all became gray.
But they fed you,
They fed me yucky. It was yucky. There was some sort of bacteria
but it was a
that my body
place
did
of
not react
love.
to. My body loved to get
Right,
rid
but
of it.
They tried to love you by feeding you. It might have not tasted the greatest. You didn't like it, but they still tried to love you. Like Ruben and I, we went to a Passover meal, and we had never been like the military experience was like wonderful because people we got invited to like different things and that we would have never experienced here in the Bible Belt of Kentucky. Hell, I would have never met Ruben if I stayed here.
Actually, do you know that they have a Pesach Seder in Bowling Green?
Really?
The Jewish Church for Jesus?
Oh, okay. Well, see, I didn't even know what that meant. All I know is that we had a Jewish neighbor and he invited us over for Passover. And the Passover meal was huge. And there were multiple steps to eating this meal. But he invited us into his home to experience his religion. He invited his rabbi, which was very common. We were on the military base, so there was a rabbi, but there wasn't a very large Jewish congregation. So he was Jewish, and we got invited over. And there were multiple facets of this meal, as you may know. But one of the dishes that we had to eat was gefilte fish. And it was gray, and it was gelatinous, and it was cold, and it came out of a jar, and it tasted like cat food smells. But I ate it because I was
not even like cat food smell. I've eaten.
And I ate it because I knew it came out of a place of love, and that's what we were supposed to do because we were invited. To me, when people invite you into their home and they offer you a meal, that's a very intimate thing. Like they put their heart into what they're cooking sometimes. Anytime they put whatever they have, whatever emotion they have that day, whatever feeling they have that day, whatever their day was, goes into that meal. It's a very intimate time, a meal. You know what I mean? It's a very intimate time. And so they're coming from a place of love, whether it tasted like cat food or like cat food smells, or it was the gray rabbit and veggie all. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying it may have been intimate for them, but I was the only one who ate it. I was the only one.
Allie loved the gefilte fish, and she asked for seconds. I thought I was going to puke. I was like, oh my God, how can you eat seconds?
I'm going to tell you, I had some Jewish friends in Louisville, and they served it for breakfast.
Ew, did you eat gefilte fish?
Of course I ate gefilte fish.
You like it?
It's no, it is not like, this is what I want for day, but I ate it because somebody offered it.
Ew.
But
Allie loved it.
You can order it from Amazon. It comes in a jar.
I know. No, thank you. No, thank you.
My family always used to eat pickled herring.
I've never had pickled herring.
I'm so sorry for that. Technology got the better of us. Well, got the better of me. And
we're back.
We're back, and we're talking about foods that we know we should eat, but do not sound appetizing to us. Pickled herring is one of them.
Right. It's just kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like a cute baby. You're supposed to say it's cute. I mean, it's just like a baby that you're supposed to think is cute and say is cute, but it's not cute. So you just call it precious. Sometimes the
Fresh.
food is supposed to be appetizing. You're supposed to like it. You're supposed to eat it, but you're going to be like, no, I ate before I came over, but thank you.
See, my mom said that I had a special ability for spreading things across the plate and being like, it was delicious.
Oh, good. And I am so full. Yum. So, when technology like crapped out on us, did you actually have a snack during the break while you're trying to put everything back up?
I did. I'm gonna tell you, I don't know about you, but I'm a soup person. I really like soups. I don't know why. I like the way I like the way they feel. I could say something that it reminds me what it feels like, but that's too much for this. But it's like
Oh
warming
my,
your insides. It's not sex. Don't worry. If it was sex, I would be like, it's as good as sex.
no, tiramisu is good as sex if you want to get down to it.
I can't wait to bring some back for you. It's gonna be crazy.
What tiramisu?
Tiramisu.
Tiramisu. Kennedy had dinner last night for in honor of her birthday.
Huh?
Fried chicken and 10 sides. I said 10 sides. She goes, I'm going to be 10, aren't I? I want 10 sides for my 10-year-old birthday. That's what I was having was leftovers because, man, we had a lot of food.
What were the 10 sides?
The 10 sides, oh my gosh. She had mashed potatoes and gravy, dressing, not stuffing, dressing, deviled eggs, peas, carrots, green beans, corn, macaroni and cheese.
I think you've done mac and cheese twice.
I did.
Well, maybe in my mind, I heard mac and cheese already.
Okay, so let's do this again.
Did,
Okay.
did you make green?
Peas. No. Peas, carrots, corn, green beans, mashed potatoes and gravy, dressing, mac and cheese, collard greens, fried okra. And did I say deviled eggs?
I don't think you said them yet.
Deviled eggs. Oh my gosh, so many sides. So many sides. But it was so good. I just leftovers. Oh, and then we went to the jump zone today. It was called Urban Air. I hurt my back.
You hurt your back.
I hurt my back.
What you gonna do for it?
Right now, I have like one of those cold, hot heat patches on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been stretching and I had a hot bath. But let me tell you, it hurts. I jousted with my 10-year-old nephew, who's a big boy. He plays football. And I won, but I also fell into the foam pit. Let me tell you, foam pit ain't where it's at. It is not. I was wrestling for my life to get out of that foam pit. That's where I hurt my back.
There was this TikTok, and this little girl was crying. She goes, "This boy, I think he likes me." And she goes, "When I fell off the zip line, he tried to bury me." I was like, "Yes, bury her in the foam pit." I've
And there
never
was a lot
the
and a
close
lot of bounce and a lot of trampolines. And it hurt.
the closest thing I've ever been to like that was a ball pit when I was a kid.
Oh, they are so uh I mean, they went from ball pit to zip lines, indoor zip lines. Kennedy, I was actually on the indoor rock climbing wall, She rode the zip line. She did the air obstacle course where you're elevated like what 30 feet and you're walking around on this obstacle course above everybody.
Well, I was thinking, when they do the Cave City, uh, Bigfoot thing.
Oh, Park City Bigfoot Festival.
I'm gonna tell you, I really think you are the one who goes out and gets the data. I'm the one who sits and thinks about it. I'm like, I cannot hike anymore.
Well, we're gonna go call in Bigfoot for sure. If you guys have missed it, the Bigfoot Festival is occurring in Park City, Kentucky on October the 12th of 2024. Be there.
We will be there.
We'll be there. Heck yeah.
I'm
With
not.
belts.
I'm not
With belts.
hiking. I'll make a mess of food. But girl, I have 5 toes. 5 toes between 2 feet.
This little piggy went to market and he didn't come home.
Didn't come home. Didn't come home. The one that had roast beef didn't come home either.
He was roast beef.
He was the roast beef. As I tell
Mhm.
people, I tiptoed during COVID through the underworld, literally.
Oh, through the tulips and you didn't bring your toes back from the tulips. Or,
No.
yeah. Sacrificial lambs during COVID were your toes.
And all the weight that I've lost, I guess that could be sacrificial too.
You have lost a lot of weight.
I have. How did I do it? Through a broken lap band and or C clamp and perseverance and meanness. Because trust me,
And
I
five,
get angry. Ugh.
you couldn't make it to the refrigerator on your 5 toes.
Well, now I got a scooter, not like one of the mobile scooters. It's like a knee scooter. I got a walker. I got a cane, and theoretically, Papa O was using a cane before he needed one.
You're getting somewhere now.
Now I am. Now I'm
Help
getting.
me. Help me.
Hey, I am. I am totally trying to embrace that part of myself. That the help me, like you can do this. You can do it all night long. Yeah, I've been trying. Such pretty faces coming from the other side.
My elder crone self, and I'm not having a good time with it. But I need to realize, I really do, that I'm not as young as I used to be.
True.
50 something year old me does not need to be falling off into a foam pit. Now, let me tell you, Ruben was jumping leaps and bounds. He did a forward flip, like you know how people were standing on their feet and they just do a total flip and land on their feet.
Have
He was
you
on
ever
the trampoline. Whoop! Here I am, and Sonya's like,
have you ever seen your husband naked?
"Oh, absolutely."
So you know where all those muscles go.
You and my husband,
He
you
is
just love him.
he is the mighty muscular Reuben. I am not joking, y'all. He is, he is a he is a well put together gentleman. And that's why he can do those flips. Mm-mm. The one thing that I'm hoping with a building like that is that all those foam and jumpy hoppy things will help me get back up again. Will give me the momentum to rise from my grave.
You and your infatuation with my hubby.
He
I tell you,
makes a good meat with gravy.
I tell you who's hot. Kurt is hot. Kurt has got it going on.
And what about me? What about us?
What about us? We're talking about
Would you care something about me?
But it's like the epitome when it comes to like when I think of
Kurt is also younger. Ruben
he
is our
looks,
age.
and he is the youngest.
Ruben?
No, Kurt.
Yeah. How old's Ruben?
Oh, he's over 40 for sure.
Does not look it. It looks like you were like a cougar.
Ruben's over 50.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's what happens when you take care of your body.
Yes. That's
I'm
what
going to tell
happens when
you,
I
I
feed
lean,
him well.
I lean forward and I could scare small children.
Oh my gosh.
All that skin comes forward with me. It all. Trust. When the Golden Girls were talking about never get on top, and then she said to Blanche, take a mirror and lean over it, and that will show you. You want a mirror, mirror on the wall, y'all? Mirror, mirror on the wall. Put one under you and then watch it fall. The only
Um,
wrinkles, the only wrinkles that I think are sexy wrinkles, I think these are sexy wrinkles. And so many people dislike them. So many people get Botox for them. Would you ever do
mhm.
Botox?
I haven't, but I want to. I'm not embracing my new older self. I'm just not. I don't I don't know. I'm going through a transition, but I'm like, my God, I need to get rid of this wrinkle and the gray and the. But then I try to act young and I hurt my back. So I don't know. I need to embrace my older self.
I think that's something that we all need to do. It's something that I think it is the American way to want to erase,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's very healthy to embrace where you are. And that's hard for us because in our brains we are a lot younger.
Mm-hmm.
Because our brain, like I'm going to tell you, if I would have gone with you, my brain would have been like, "We can do this, Sonya. We can do this."
And then you'd be like, my back, like me. Mm-hmm.
I'm like that way right now, and I didn't even do half the stuff you did. I just slept horribly.
You poor
Yeah,
thing.
well, sleep has been my arch nemesis because I don't know. Parts of me stay up because I don't want to miss anything, but then I have to go to bed before the sun comes up. If the sun comes up and I'm still awake, I stay awake.
What is there to miss?
Who
No, what
knows?
night?
What when do all the ghosts and creepy things come out? At night? When
What
people
are
are sleeping?
you not hanging out with ghosts and creepy things? You're
I
hanging out
know.
on Growler and all those things. That's what you're doing.
Calling me out. No, most of the time I'm actually watching what's it Laid Back or Modfrika. They're both guys who do weird and scary stuff. And I sit there and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy. That no. I am fascinated with ghosts. Ghosts have always been my biggest thing. And, you know, doing the whole trying to debunk things, I like that. I like debunking. Half of why I like cryptids and stuff like that is a chance to try to debunk it. Now there's ones that I've seen and there's things that I've seen that I cannot debunk. And I'm like, that's how you know that scary shit is out there. Did I ever tell you that I was in a haunted house on Elm Street?
No.
In in Murray, Kentucky, I lived on Elm Street, and this house had dark magic done underneath the porch. Now, like in the basement, and I'm like not even joking. And then it filled in bad septic system, bad plumbing system too. But that's neither here nor there. And one time you could hear this running going down the hallway. Okay. And Julie and I looked down the hallway. Nothing was there. And you would hear it back and forth. And then the TV started flashing in and out, and then in and out. And then went down to like a little pin in the center, like a pin light. You know, this is when they had tubes. Tubes are what made them work. But it went all the way down to the center. And then Julie goes, do you think that was and as soon as I knew what she was about to say. And all of a sudden the blinds flipped up and fell out. And we're like, we got to go. We're going to Martha's to eat tonight, or we're going to Anne's Country Kitchen. Scary ghost thing. Scary, scary ghost thing.
I don't know if I believe in dark magic. I think magic is just magic.
My feel, and this is me, certain magics have almost like a residue, or like a very unctuous, oily sort of feel to them. Usually those are what I consider dark magic. Also, magic with negative intent.
Yes, there's negative intentions, of course.
And I believe that's black magic. You know, I think it's all about your intentions, what you do with magic. You know? I think that, do I believe you're pulling from a certain grouping? No, it's just like if my intent is to hurt you, which I would never do because I love you more than my luggage, but
Oh, I love you more than soda. And that's a lot.
what's your favorite soda?
Coca-Cola Classic.
Oh, thank God. I thought we were about to end our friendship right there.
Mm-mm.
I love Coca-Cola. I love everything about Coca-Cola. I get Coca-Cola memorabilia. I have a bottle. I am in. We would not have the Santa Claus we have today if it weren't for Coca-Cola.
Coke in a smile.
Because if you notice, the same colors of Santa Claus are the same colors that are in Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Do you know what I wanted? Do you know what I wanted badly for the season? Have you ever had candy corn with peanut butter?
No,
Do you like peanut butter?
I do.
Especially if you get the ones that are pumpkins, they are dippable in peanut butter, and they are out of this world. But I couldn't eat them. I couldn't eat them this holiday.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll eat some for you.
You could eat some for me. Trust me. Maybe I'll smell your mouth. I'm not totally against that. Not totally against that.
Tell them that other than smell my mouth. I don't think I want you to smell my mouth.
I don't think I want you to smell my mouth. It's a new form of healing. It's to come up in your mouth.
Papa, there's a person's personal bubble, and then there's a person's personal bubble. I mean, I don't mind if you hug me, but I don't want you sniffing in my mouth.
My name used to And you know what? My name used to be Bubbles. I can
You know,
I can be your personal bubble.
I want the Browns to win the Super Bowl. That's what I want.
Are you putting energy towards that?
Heck yeah, I am. Every
I
daggone week.
I remember that Glenda, for luck, would always put her lucky penny under her right butt cheek,
What?
especially when she was playing cards. And trust me, that penny was so lucky that whenever they would play cards, they would pick her up and try to make sure she didn't have her penny on. But sometimes you'd find it, other times you'd never find it till the end.
That's a stanky old penny. I wouldn't be looking for no penny under nobody's butt cheek.
Trust me, I would. If I was losing lots of money, I'd been like, Glenda, what you doing here? Glenda, every Samhain, I get her Camel Lights and I get her Yoo-hoo.
That's what you were saying last year.
She gets she gets that every year because whenever we got to work, she'll go, honey, can you run to the next store and get me some Camel Lights and a Yoo-hoo? Of course. Of course, Glenda. Glenda the Good Witch. Interesting thing. In life, she very much followed me. But in death, I ended up becoming the student.
Hmm.
And that's one of the great things I think about becoming the crone and the sage is that we
Mhm.
can look at not the aches and pains, but the ability to look at things in retrospect.
Speaking of aches and pains, I am in some pain.
Have you tried? I would also try taking some turmeric, turmeric with some fish oil
Ugh.
in pills, not liquids. But I think turmeric is a really good muscle relaxer. And when you're doing this for elderly people,
You
Crohn's
know
and
what I'm
Sages,
trying?
you want
Wine.
to wine. You want to go for things that will alleviate inflammation. Things that will, like magnesium. Hot peppers, believe it or not, are great for the back.
You know what
They
else is for the back?
what?
Coke, wine.
And you know what? I would also recommend getting a big thing of Epsom salt, putting the whole bag or the whole carton in, and getting in to take a bath
Yes,
because
yes.
you need to absorb that magnesium, and that's what's actually happening. That's why things ease up in the Epsom salts. Now there is a guy in Kentucky who talked about doing what that if he could have his perfect job, it would be either working with horses or opening one of the like the suspension where you're suspended in water and everything is dark.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I say to myself, if I ever make it big, I am going to make your dream come true too as well. Because I got some advice if you ever come into big money, invest it. Because if you do 90% of the people,
Well,
if they don't invest the money, they'll end up spending it.
I am 54 years old. I'm going to spend my money. I don't know how long I have left on this earth. I'm going to spend it.
Hopefully a lot more.
Huh?
Hopefully a lot more. I would like to spend a lot more time with you. even if
I
even if I have to push you in your wheelchair. Are
push away because I'm going to need one, I do believe. Oh, so uncomfortable.
are you ready to get off your back?
Um, I'm not actually on my back.
Are
I'm
you
sitting.
are you willing? Are you wanting to go home for tonight?
Um, maybe. Yeah. How about you? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
We need to talk about our Patreon, though.
We do. We have we have started up a Patreon. I'll put it at the end of this video, and it's called the kitchen table. I think is what it's called. I just started making it for Sister Sonya and I, and there will be levels, and the different levels will you will get extra Sister Sonya and Papa O things. Like when we
Wait,
go,
fans
what?
page. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
And some will have like us randonauticing it, or cooking, or Bigfooting, ghost hunting. Who knows what will come. Also,
It's Sonya making labor cookies for women that are well pregnant. Just cute little kitchen witchery things, randonautica things, sitting on the front porch things.
just us things.
Just
And
us. More of us than what you see here.
and I think that's great because I think we are wonderful people.
There's a lot more of us than just this podcast.
More than meets the eye.
A lot more. Wait a minute.
I know
That's
that
only we're trying to show ourselves. That's the only fence.
I know that we're both poets, and not many people know it.
Exactly. I keep
Well,
trying to have an
think
OnlyFans.
you
Don't have
got
an
that
Only.
you got that one poem, but we could do sort of like a hippie poem night. I
Yeah.
think, and we are both in video form, and we are also in audio form.
Yeah.
So look forward to finding us both on your podcast and on your vlogcast. Well, it's been kind, it's been real, but it's time to say goodbye. So love one another, reach out to one another, and like Grandpa Sackwitz always used to say,
Don't be an asshole.